Hello there, my name is Lucia Ferrara and I'm Hospitality Director here at the Precious Blood Renewal Center. And today, because it is Lent and we are going to be celebrating Jesus' resurrection here on Easter Sunday come April, I wanted to share with you a recipe that I have and I do with my family at home during this time. And it's a very simple recipe. Some people sometimes hesitate to make homemade cream puffs because they don't realize it really is easy and it's not that difficult. And really, you usually have all the ingredients just sitting at home. Really, you do. So I'm going to go over the ingredients and we'll get started. So first of all, I want to preface, you have to preheat your oven to 425. And the oven I have here, it's heated and it runs pretty right on 425. Some ovens run hotter, some don't, so you have to kind of adjust accordingly. Now, before we start making the pastry, I want to tell you about how to make the cream filling. Very easy cream filling. And I made some earlier and I used, so I'm going to, later on, I'm going to make some chocolate filling. So the first batch I made vanilla. So with that being said, you want to use 2 3.5 ounce boxes of instant pudding, flavor of your choice. I usually like vanilla or chocolate. Okay, you're going to put those in a glass bowl. Then you're going to add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, no substitute, heavy whipping cream, 2 cups. Then you're going to put 1 cup of milk in there. You're going to run the beater in there for maybe 30 seconds, whip it together, make sure it's blended well. You're going to put a lid on it and stick it in the refrigerator. And I promise you, by the time you're done making your pastry, it will be set perfect to fill our cream puffs, okay? So the ingredients needed for the cream puffs are simple, okay? You need 1 cup of water, a 1/2 cup of butter, no substitute, butter, okay, which is 1 stick. A 1/2 cup is 1 stick. Then you're going to use a pinch of salt, and then 1 cup of flour. And then we're going to beat in 4 eggs slowly, 1 at a time. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay, so let's go to the stove and I will show you how to make your cream puff pastry. And a little history behind this pastry is it goes way, way, way back to the de Medici family or reign back in the day. And so the French word for cabbage is choux, and it's spelled C-H-O-U-X. And that's a French word for cabbage, okay? So, and the reason why they named this choux pastry is because it resembles sort of kind of like cabbage. I kind of agree, but then I kind of disagree. But you can tell your own story, right? So we're going to go with that. So let's go to the stove and we'll start making our choux pastry. All right, so now you're going to turn on your stove here, medium here, and you are going to stick in your stick of butter, which is a 1/2 cup of butter. Then you're going to stick in your water. And you are going to bring this to a boil. a rolling boil. So we're going to let this go. I'm not going to mix it. I'm not going to do anything. I am just going to let this melt and let it come to a rolling boil. We want to make sure all the butter has been melted in there before we add the flour. I'm going to go ahead and add my pinch of salt. Okay, it's almost there. It's a rolling boil. The butter's melted. I am going to add my flour, and I want you to use a wooden spoon, not a metal one. And you're going to blend this all together. And it's kind of going to be like a little sticky dough. You kind of got to do it quick. Just like this. Okay? All right. Okay. Now, we're going to roll it into a ball like that. Turn off the heat, and we're going to transfer this to a glass bowl, okay, with your wooden spoon. All right, so we're going to take our dough and we're going to transfer it to a glass bowl using your wooden spoon, and we're going to set that aside. Now we are going to mix in an egg one at a time. Now, if you don't have a handy mixer, I mean, you can use your spoon. I choose not to because I feel like the blender kind of blends it in a little bit better, evenly. So we're going to repeat this 4 times. And really, it's a sticky taste, okay? All right. So, next, we're going to, I like to use a piping bag because I like to either sometimes make, here's a sample of what they look like when they're finished, but sometimes I like to make bigger ones, sometimes I like to make little bite-sized ones. And I mean, you can use a teaspoon and drop them by the spoonful onto your parchment paper lined tray. Or, you know, if you want bigger ones, you can use like a tablespoonful and drop them that way. But I like to use my piping bag. So I'm going to take my wooden spoon and give it one good last blend. Now this dough is pretty sticky, and it yields, if you make small ones, they'll yield at least 2 dozen little pastry cream puffs, okay? If you make bigger ones, which, you know, those are nice, but like if you're having a little party or get together, it's kind of nice to make the small to medium ones, okay? But, you know, it's your choice because it's your pastry, okay? And I'm gonna put this bit here, put it in the bag. It's very sticky dough, okay? I would recommend having a wet towel like I have here next to you so you can kind of wipe your fingers as you go, okay? and kind of get every little bit that we can in there. All right, set that aside. Then we're going to take our lined parchment paper on our baking dish here, and we're going to make sure. Okay, so here we go. Now, you can do it different. I like to use different tips. You can use different tips. You can use ones that have the, star-like thing. This one is just a regular round one. So there's different ways you can make your so you can do it like that. I kind of like that size. You just kind of round it out like that. And you want to space them out a couple of inches. Okay. So you're just going to repeat the process until your baking pan here is filled with yummy, ready to bake cream puff pastries, or as the French would call it, choux pastry. These are really popular too during St. Joseph's Day. Those who celebrate St. Joseph's Day and have the big feast, you'll see homemade cream puffs on your St. Joseph table too. So those are kind of fun. Kids love these. And I would encourage you to incorporate this in your kids' baking, teaching lesson, because they are fun to make. And like I said, they're super, super easy. Okay, a little bit more. I'm going to try to put one maybe right here. So remember, you preheated your oven already at 425, and you're going to let these bake for at least 20 minutes. And at 20 minutes, I want you to check them and see if they're kind of crispy and light brown on top. And if they are, and you kind of touch them and they don't poof down, then I will allow you to take them out of the oven. Now usually the last one can be a little messy, so I'm trying to get it all out of my piping. Okay? So here we go. There they are. Simple, easy. Like I said, it's ingredients that you have probably already at home. So you got company coming, don't know what to serve them for dessert, make some cream puffs. Okay, we're going to stick this in the oven. So everyone, we've just taken these out of the oven. And I want you to take a look at how beautiful and how the peaks have risen up, and they do look like choux or cabbage. They're kind of round, and so they're real light brown, and this is how you want them. So I let them cool off a few minutes, and the filling kind of looks like. So remember at the beginning I told you that how to make it. So I had made some vanilla earlier and I had so much of it. And I let it sit so it would set while we made these and these baked. So this is what it looks like. So nice and creamy filling with the heavy whipping cream, the milk, and the 2 boxes of the vanilla pudding. So really good, really fattening, but that's okay. Because we don't make these that often, but when we do enjoy them. So, all right. So for these, what I like to do is I like to usually use a serrated knife. So I have one here. I'm just going to take one and kind of want to let them cool off for a few minutes. So I'm going to take these. They're really light and fluffy. They look beautiful. So you just kind of open them up kind of halfway. And you can do this 1 or 2 ways. You can fill these with a piping bag, which if I have lots of them, I usually do that. But because for this purpose today, I'm just going to take a spoonful. I'm going to open this up, kind of halfway there. I'm going to fill it with my cream. Okay. And I just top it back. And there you go. I'm going to go to the next one. This one here was a little bitty one, which is kind of nice because it's kind of bite size. Then you kind of put the top back on it. Can you hear me cutting that? Take some more of your cream filling. Like I said, it's whatever you desire, however much you want to use. Fill it back like that. Look how beautiful they just came out. So beautiful. There's your cream. I kind of look at it as like I'm putting the lid back on it, right? So let me fill one more here. So this is what we like to serve for Easter dessert, at least one of them. These are good for birthdays, they're good for Christmas, any celebration you want to celebrate. Now, I put a little powdered sugar on top. Okay. And before we taste and try them, I want you to know that you have to enjoy this dessert. Grab yourself a friend, your neighbor, whoever you want, some tea or coffee. Have some great conversation together because everyone's welcome at the table, right? And I just want to leave you with this message. I'm going to read you something from an opening prayer that was led by Pope Francis for the Way of the Cross on Good Friday of 2022. And he says, Lord Jesus, we lift our voices to you, confident that you will hear our prayer. Accompany us on our journey, reassure us in our doubts, console our hurt feelings, give us the courage to love, and bestow the grace of forgiveness. Lord Jesus, crucified and risen from the dead, may we not let ourselves be robbed of the hope of a new humanity, of the new heavens and a new earth, where you will wipe away the tears from every eye, where pain and mourning will be no more. For the old things will be passed away, and we will be one great family in your home of love and peace. You know, for me, Easter represents Jesus Christ's victory over death, and his resurrection is proof to me that he is the Son of God. And it is that reason that I find hope in an eternity with him. So I wish all of you many, many Easter blessings, and hope that you're able to make your cream puffs and enjoy them with family and friends.